Good morning, fellow fast breakers. My name is Nish, and I am the co-founder and proud new parent of this 3.5-week-old social enterprise streetwear label called Bloodless. And I think it's quite fitting that at this juncture in the lifespan of Bloodless, that I get to speak to you guys under this theme of raw, because that's exactly how I feel this morning. I guess like any new dad, I imagine. I've spent the last 3.5 weeks, a lot of sleepless nights. Everything's kind of new, and so I'm kind of imagining a whole bunch of life, advancements and changes that have to come, and what the future holds is what I'm thinking about. But I thought this morning, with the 300 seconds that we have together, I wanted to share, rather than any lessons I've learned in my 3.5 weeks, the experiences and the kind of core belief that inspired me thus far to this point to launch Bloodless this month. But before I get into that, firstly, a rhetorical question. Do you remember the first time you dressed yourself? Because I do. It was quite late in the game. I was about 14 at the time. And I remember I was going to my friend Bede's 13th birthday party in Erskineville. And I rocked up in this terrible cream shirt with a cream t-shirt underneath and these baggy jeans and these terrible white shoes. And in hindsight, like a woeful outfit, just woeful. But a very significant moment for me. Because growing up, I was never that confident a kid. In fact, as far back as I can remember, until I was about 11, I remember spending every single recess and lunch of every single school day in the library by myself reading books. Every day. I wasn't the best at making friends, and it didn't help that I had about 5 chins at the time. And when you're a kid and you're trying to make friends, 1 chin is enough. You can work with 2 when you have about 5. It's really tough, but I just couldn't resist my mum's butter chicken, still is good. It's really hard to resist. Anyway, and so I kind of got to high school, and high school kind of rolled out. And at this point, my sister kind of intervenes. She was a bit older, and kind of like a fashionista. And she looks at me, and she goes, Nish, whoa. Well, we can't have you going out like that anymore. Like, the time is up. You're about to become a teenager. And so from that point on, she bought all my clothes, and I wasn't allowed to walk outside the door unless she'd kind of verified or confirmed the outfit that I was going to wear that day. And over time, I eventually found my own fashion flavor and got my own confidence in that. And what I picked up on in my teen years is that fashion has this power, this unique ability, what I found, to give me a second chance at a first impression. Now, I could walk up to a complete stranger, and it didn't matter, what they thought about the color of my skin or how many chins they had. They could look at me, and my clothes could yell to them and go, hey, well, hold on, wait. You and me, we're the same, we're okay, we've got some stuff in common, we can chat, we can connect. And I don't know if you've had a similar experience before. Maybe it wasn't with fashion, maybe it was with music or with visual arts or with literature, but these creative cultural forces allowed you to connect with someone else who also shared that resonance with you. And what kind of has driven me to launch Bloodless this month, it combined that story of me growing up, combined with my few years in the non-profit sector trying to engage young people around social justice and global inequality, is this idea that I feel that the Australian non-profit sector has failed young people in their ability to harness these cultural icons and these cultural forces that are so important to young people. When you're a teenager, what you're wearing, what music you're listening to is such a meaning maker for you, and forms not just how you express yourself and how you identify yourself, but how you connect with others. And I feel like there is this massive missed opportunity for young Australians to learn about what's going on around the world around them through the culture they're already engaging in. Because when you walk into, let's say you walk into the Apple store and you grab a Mac off the shelf, you're not grabbing the Mac off the shelf because you're really excited to contribute to the shareholders of Apple. You're getting it because you love the design, you're really excited to have that thing in your life. And I sometimes feel, sometimes when it comes to maybe social enterprise, that we might expect that someone will buy our product or use our service because there's a social impact associated with it. But the challenge I wanted to put out to anyone here who's involved in the social enterprise sector or the non-profit sector in any kind of creative way is that our cause is the best one. And we should be the ones who spend, chuck the all-nighters and use all our creative juice coming up with the best stuff and launching the best enterprises and running the best ad campaigns and releasing the best shirts or whatever you're doing. Because the good news is that our cause is the best one. And I think for too long, the nonprofit sector has kind of followed in the footsteps of the kind of mainstream or the corporate, and if something was cool about 5 years ago, then we'll kind of catch up. But I really feel that going forward into this millennium, that it's time for the people with the best causes to harness that creativity as a generation, and start using that for social change, and starting to really resonate and speak the language and taking time to learn the language of young people. So if that sounds like something you're excited with, first I'd just love to meet you, because that's awesome. But also please jump behind our Possible campaign, as Omar mentioned before. We're at www.possible.com/bloodless, and get behind us, because we're trying to lead that creative revolution. Thank you very much.